Yo, this Bit C, this Cedric Smith, aka Bit C Southside Rider, baby. This is the home of the Southside Soldiers, baby. It's renovated, but you know how y'all know the story. Y'all know how we lived back in the early 90s, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, so as we walk in, this is a nice little area of South Street. Back then it was a little rough. You had to live your life. At the same time, you had to have respect. I grew up in the era where we had respect for the elders and the OGs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lived their life out here. I came up slanging marijuana. I wasn't a dope seller. I sell marijuana. I didn't have all the money. I didn't have all the cars. I didn't have all the women. And I actually didn't have all the jewelry. But I had what I had to survive. You understand what I'm saying? So as time went on, I lived my life out here. I lived my life as a fighter. That's all I ever did. If you ever ran up on me, you already know. A lot of y'all know me in this city that I am the one. So as our time progressed, I go to prison. I gave them a maximum of 6 years, 7 months, and 15 days on my first bid. I did it for a friend who I don't consider a friend no more. See, what y'all have to understand is people's not y'all friends who they say they is until things happen like that. I thought he was a friend, but he turned snake on me. Watch the snakes you keep around you. So as I go through my times and tribulations of a bar CI in the early 2000s, before I go to prison, I had a daughter at the age of 17. She was 4 days old when I went to prison. Y'all have to understand something. When you start having children, it changed your world. I was hurt I had to leave my baby girl for somebody that I thought was a friend, like I said. I would call his name, but I won't be like that. I'm not that I'm not that guy. But I can be that guy. But he know who I'm talking about. So I left my baby out here 4 days old. I took the time for him. As I went through my time, I missed my daughter. Grow up, we grew apart. I'm still fighting right now for a relationship with my daughter. But we getting there. That's for another story. So as we progressed through my time at Brevard, I became a gang leader, gang banger. I became all that in there. I ran Brevard CI with 180 some people under my belt. If anybody knew me, knew what I was doing. I brought that mentality home. My first bid. My second bid, I caught a violation of probation. I left my son out here, who was prematurely born, which is named after me, Cedric Smith Jr. I love my boy. I left him. I did 4 years. Came home. I made a vow to myself. Before I walked out them prison gates that day, I told them people I would never come back to see them ever again unless it was about my children. I done been out now going on 12 years come September. I want y'all to know something. The struggle is real, but it's what you do after the struggle that's gonna change your life. I done came home, started 2 businesses, owned 3 cars, in a house, got a wife, and just had a beautiful little girl. It's the things what you do after the struggle that makes you a better man. You have to understand. Oh, and I'm also in transition of becoming minister of the church. Y'all have to understand something. The Lord took me through that hell just to get where I'm going today. Y'all got to follow me now. Come on, stay with me. So when the Lord takes you through the struggle, always remember, it's just your test of your testimony. What's the end at your testimony is throw your hands and say thank you. Because now what you've been through back then, it's not what you're going to wind up in the end of your life. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So as you stand and you say, Lord, I'm sorry, when you let him take control, watch how he direct your life. I done fought for years to get where I'm at right now today. It took me 5 years to get into the position I am today. That's all because I put the faith in the Lord. Yes, I wanted to give up on my own. I wanted to give up. I told the Lord myself, I said, if I put this application in again, they don't call me, I'm done trying. And right after I said that, 2 weeks later, I get that phone call telling me to come in for my interview at Daytona Beach City. And I've been there going on 14 months. You can't tell me God won't do something for you if you put your trust in it. Always put your trust in the Lord. The Lord took me through hell. Even just last year on August 15th was one hell of a day for me. I lost my brother to the prison system. I lost my daughter to the prison system in the same day. Turn around that same day, not even 3 hours later. My daddy died. I had to go identify his body. See what I'm saying? I went through all that and still going through it just to get where the Lord trying to put me at. When you trust in him in all his ways, watch how he pass your path clear up. I have to struggle with that with myself sometimes. It's not always easy for me. It's not. I suffer with depression. There's been plenty of times I wanted to commit suicide. Plenty of times. My wife stopped me twice. Y'all have to understand, I deal with stuff. But at the same time, I also give my faith in the Lord. Because without his strength and his power, I won't be the man that I am today. I'm not that man that I used to be back then that want to bush in your mouth every chance I got. That's not the man that I am. I'd rather talk to you and tell you what the good things the Lord done for me in my life and what he continue to do in my life as I continue to grow in this thing. It's a struggle for me. Yes, it is. But this road gonna get easy as time goes on. As long as I keep doing this here and saying, thank you, Lord, things gonna change. Trust me. Just keep the faith. Keep it rolling. Yes, sir.
Yo, we back. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to my brother, Cedric Smith, and his documentary, From Growth to Change, episode 2. And let me tell you a little bit about my brother. You know, he reached out to me and said, yo, I want to get on the mic. You know, mic me up so I can, you know, encourage, motivate, and be a help to the youth and the young adults. And believe it or not, to the adults as well. See, my dad always told me, you see my glory, but you don't know my story. You know, so that stuck with me to this day, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, welcome my man, my brother, Cedric, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Cedric at that, you know what I'm saying? Back to the documentary, Growth and Change. What's going on, bro? How you doing, baby?
I'm doing all right. How you doing today?
Man, I'm maintaining, man. I want to appreciate you for doing this, man, and just taking time out and, you know what I'm saying, just help me push the vision, man, you know what I'm saying, and change people's lives, you know?
You already know it's no problem.
Hey.
When I seen one of your little videos on the book, and I said, let me hit my brother to see what's going on. Because like I said before, you have to understand the growth. You have to understand the trials and tribulations to get the growth where you got to go with.
Yes, sir.
See, I done been through it. Like I just told you, I done been through it.
Yes, sir.
And to see the things that I see now as I'm this age now,
yes, sir.
I wish I would have known it back then.
That's
why I can deter the youth from a situation where they don't really have to go. Mm-hmm. I'm in the process. I'm trying. Like I talked to the chief of police. Mm-hmm. I was working at John Hall a few years ago, and I talked to him, and I was like, I want to start an organization where I can have the youth to come out and ride dirt bikes every other Sunday. Mm-hmm. I was in the process of doing that. Mm-hmm. But what deterred me from doing that was I wanted to do it for my community. Mm-hmm. Only thing you really had to do in this community was sign a waiver. I didn't ask you for no money. Yeah. I wasn't asking for anything. But he wanted to take it out my hands and put it over here and build friends. Yeah. That's not helping my community. Right. Like I told him, everybody, we do go riding, but everybody don't have a truck and trailer. Everybody don't have transportation to get to Sam Sewell or Flagler or Ocala. They don't have the type of equipment to get that way. And like I told, I know y'all tired of chasing these kids on these dirt bikes. I'm tired of seeing y'all do it. Y'all did it to us. So I'm trying. I was in the process of getting that change to happen. But when he told me that, I'm like, it's not helping my community. Yeah. But I'm still not going to deter it from me from doing it. Right. I'm just going to take my time and watch how things work. 100%.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm big on my community too, man. You know what I'm saying? All communities that's like, I'm using the word poverty, but don't have like, that's not rich or famous or even they don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? I'll be real with you, blood raw. The ones that's struggling. That's I'm a voice for advocate for. You know what I'm saying? I remember many sandwiches, served sandwiches, and all that stuff there. So I want to be able to help those people out and with resources though. And this is right here to me, what we're doing now is a resource. You know what I'm saying? That they can use. Cause they can reach out to us. They can touch us. Right. And ask questions. I need help navigating with something. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you a few questions, bro. You know what I'm saying? So be transparent and with the viewers. And I appreciate you once again. So I'm hearing like back in the days, like, so what age did you jump off the porch as far as like in the streets?
I really started selling weed when I was like 15.
Okay.
I bought my first ounce. I was 15 years old. Back then, ounces were like $60, $70 of that good back then. So I started with that. I was the first one in my little crew to start.
What made you start? What made you get into the streets like that? Then let me put it that way. I guess be straightforward with it, right?
Well, what made me get into
Yes,
it
sir.
was, you know, growing up in South Street, you know what I'm saying? I used to see my stepdad. I used to see a lot of the older guys, you know what I'm saying? Big chain, you know what I'm saying? Big cars with rims on. So living in the project, that's what you see. That's what you're going to want to do. You understand what I'm saying? So I took them, I said, yeah, I'm finna start, you know what I'm saying? And making my little money, but got to the point where I wasn't becoming, I was never on materialistic things as I started doing it. So I was like, man, I'm not on all that. I'll just make enough just to survive. I didn't have all the money. I didn't do all that. I didn't have all the pounds either. So let's get that clarified right now. I don't want nobody to go back and say, oh, boy, say no. I did not do that.
Right.
I wasn't no robber. I didn't waste my time on that.
Right.
I didn't do none of that. But I had enough to survive to keep it pushing to the next. I had to go do what I had to do again.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, it was just a thing I was seeing all them boys, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, swinging and banging. I want to swing and bang too, so you know, you know what I'm saying?
That's real. So what age you got jammed up? So you jump off the porch at a young age. What age did you got jammed up? And what more, you know what I'm saying, you know, I guess I ain't gonna go too far in my question now. What age you got jammed up though?
See, well, I really started getting in trouble when I was like, I want to say 13. I was back and forth to the juvenile detention center back then. I mean, I was in and out of there. So when I got jammed in for my prison cases, I was 17.
Wow, that was scary, right? I mean, walk us through a little bit of that prison lifestyle, bro. You know what I'm saying? At age 17,
so when I get there,
that's scary, man.
Before I go, you know, everybody gonna be nervous.
Yes, sir.
It's everybody gonna be nervous. I don't care who you is. You can be the chief of sinners out here. I don't care. You're gonna be nervous going to an environment that you already heard stories about, and now you finna go firsthand experience it. Yeah, I was a little nervous, so I was on the bus with a few older guys, and they were like, "It's your first time." I like, yeah. So you're like, man, listen, let me tell you something. Just be yourself, and I know how I am out here on these streets. I'm not that. I'm that guy, but I'm not that guy. You understand what I'm saying? I can deal with it, but I ain't gonna deal with it. It's a difference. So I was like, okay, so I already know how I'm a likable guy. You know what I'm saying? I draw good attention. I put out good attention, but I also have a defensive mechanism that if I feel like you own some other, I'm gonna be on that too. But we gonna try to work through it. But at the same time, I'm on that.
Right.
Just to let you know off rip. Yeah, it's gonna be that. So when I got jammed up, he was telling me, be myself. So okay, cool. I'm already a quiet guy, so I'm really not a talkable fella. This about the only time you may get me to talk over 20 minutes. So,
I can agree with that. But don't say too much.
You're riding on the bus. I left the county jail September 15, 2003. I left there on my way to Orlando Reception Center. I get there. Now as a 17-year-old child, now listen now, you get to this building, all you see is a big garage with big doors and a gate. I got scared, because now I'm in a whole environment now. I ain't got my mama, I ain't got my grandma. My grandma had died 5 months prior to all this happening, so I really didn't have her. Baby mama, I didn't know what she was doing, so I didn't know. So, you know, I was pretty much by myself. So I had to put my big boy drawers on, I had to shape it up. So we get in there, we go to intake. They strip you all your clothes off. Most people that been know, take all your clothes off, what belongs to the county on one side, what belongs to you on one side. So they lock you in this lock you in this cage while the officers call you everything but the child of God, tell you mama ain't this, your daddy ain't this, don't nobody love you. I mean, really talk to you like you really want to need, like you ain't nothing, pretty much.
Wow.
Spit on you, all kinds of junk. That just, it get real enough. So, as I see how the officers transact between the inmates, I close down completely. I don't want no problems. I just want to do my time and go home. So at this time, I had got sentenced to 79 months, which is equivalent to 6 years, 7 months, and 15 days. Yeah, I know all that. I had to realize all that. I had to go through it. So as
they get you with the months, like
they
like
get you with the months. I had to calculate myself. So I had to start from 36. I know what 36 months is, and I had to go
for there.
60 months. I know what 60 months is. So yeah. So as I'm sitting in there, get my clothes, go through the intake process, they put me in H dorm. Go back there. That's when I first seen the inmate get stabbed.
Jeez.
We was in the day room watching TV. Gotta think, I'm 17 at this prison camp. We all in the day room watching the TV. I don't know what transpired by the time he get here and by the time everything, I don't know. I just know they had beef for some odd reason. I don't know. I wasn't there. So as dude come in, we all sitting there watching TV. He go to his cell, talk to his friend, whatever they got going on. I turn my back and go to watch the TV again. Because whatever going on ain't none of my business. I learned that. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about that, why I'm like that. So as we watching TV, I get ready to get up to go to my cell. I see the dude walk around. He come through the tables. And when he walked up on him, he didn't say nothing to him. And by the time he realized the man was standing on the side, he had stabbed him 3 times.
Jeez.
Now I'm on my way to my cell. So I really hurried up to my cell because I don't want to deal with the officers when they come in with all that spraying and telling me to get down. And I ain't got time for that. I'm already in my cell. I'm rolling my door. So I get shipped from there. I go wind up at Brevard CI.
Man, so, that's, wow. How many places you been to so far? Well, not so far, but at the time.
At that time, I went to Orlando Reception Center, and then I went to Brevard CI. Then by 2004-05, when the hurricane was coming through, they shipped me to Taylor CI. Then they transferred me back to Brevard CI. Yeah.
So, oh wow, that's jeez. You been almost know some rough areas, man. I heard. So, you say you learned to stay to yourself. It's one of the gems you took from there. And it's like I hate to say it's a gem out of penitentiary, but it is. Stay to yourself, mind your own business.
I just wish a lot of people take that in consideration.
In real life, outside
of the prison.
Yeah.
It really can be a hindrance and a blessing to you at the same time. But I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I was at Brevard CI. I went to the box, got out the box. I was going to F dorm, F2102 low.
Verbatim, you remember it.
So I go in the dorm, fresh in the dorm, don't know nobody. So I'm in there washing my clothes. And it was a dude, the room was across the hall from me. And it was 2 roommates. They was over there arguing. Like I say, I don't know, don't care.
Right.
So later on that day, the dude name was Cord. He come to me. He say, hey, bro, because I don't never lock my locker. I never does that. Because that, to me, that's a sign of weakness. I'd rather you see my stuff than I want you to try to go get it. I don't want you trying to, I want you to see what's in here. I never lock my locker. If I do, I lock my lock and leave my door open.
You can still get it.
So it is what it's gonna be. So he say, since you don't use your lock, can I use your lock to lock my canteen up? I say, sure, no problem. Now this when I told you when I really learned to stay out people's business. I never knew why they was arguing. I just knew they was over there tussling. You know, every now and then you may get roommates wrestling in their rooms and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I didn't care. I'm asleep. They go to the canteen, they come back. I wake up, they put their stuff in their locker. So I'm sitting on the bunk. I don't say nothing. So I mind my business. This when I was drinking coffee, so I had to make me a cup of coffee and smoke me a cigarette. So I'm sitting on my bunk. Later on that night, after master roster count, anybody know at Bavard, they cut the lights off, but you can still go from room to room because the door's open. All I hear is, yeah, such and such. Oh, they hit you in the head with this lock. Talking about you gonna take my stuff. I'm like, what's going on? So when I get up now, so when I get up, I see he got my lock on a belt, finna hit his roommate with it. So I goes over there, I grab my lock, man, get my lock, man, you tripping. So I grabbed my lock and put it on my locker. Now I thought it was done and over with. Cause they went to sleep, I went to sleep. So particularly on this particular Saturday morning, I go to rec that morning, work out good. I wasn't planning on going to second yard, so I was laying in my bunk sleep. They don't rent to the yard and then came back in the dorm now. Mind you, I just told you I worked out that first yard hard. So I'm in there sleeping good. I took me a good shower. I'm laying down, I ate me a good honey bun with some peanut butter on and drank me a cup of coffee. I done went to sleep. No rec, about 3 hours, so I'm sleeping good, drooling all out my mouth and everything. So when they come in, I don't hear them come in. Dude come in, I'm sleep just like this, on my back, facing up. Dude standing over me. He got an 8-inch shank this long.
Come on, man.
8-inch shank this long. I'm asleep. I don't know he got it. I don't know.
Right.
But he woke me up because me and him was in the same dorm together in Orlando, and he knew what type of dude I was. So that's the only reason that really saved my life.
Okay.
So
face card.
When he tapped me, I woke up. I'm like, what's going on? So he like, man, I could have stabbed you right then. I'm like, man, what? He showed me the shank. It was that long.
Jeez.
He said, man, because you gave somebody a lot to hit my brother with. Now at this particular time, I didn't know what was going on. So when he told me that, I'm like, for real? I'm like, man, listen, hold up. The man asked me to use my lock to put it on his canteen. I didn't know they had beef over there. If I would have known that, he would have never got my lock.
Right.
So then the dude told me, he said, listen, only reason why I really didn't stab you because I know what type of guy you was. So we squashed that between me and him, but I had to fight the person that put me in the situation.
Oh, man.
So right then and there, that vows to myself, after I fought him and beat him up, which I really didn't want to do because he was an all right dude to me.
Right. But you got to say yourself, though, in this case.
Prison has their own politics.
Yeah.
You have to live by these politics or they're going to run you over. Yeah. Pretty much that's what it was going to be. I mean, they had a shanks, they had locks. One dude had a broom handle, had everything got me that day.
Had no choice.
So I had to fight this man to save grace upon my face and everything else.
Right.
When you put yourself in situations, you never knew the outcomes of the things that you're going to go through. That's why I try to avoid everything that's not the right way for me, because I know what I can do and what I don't want to do.
That's dope. Yes, sir. So I'm glad you mentioned that, bro, because it's very powerful what you said, man. You took us down, memory lane, but also you ended with a punchline. Say I just focus on myself. I don't want to do things I want to do. So what type of encouragement words? Because you're a changed man now. You got a great job. You're doing pretty good for yourself and for your family. Man, I just enjoy seeing you doing some positive stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So what type of encouragement words you have for the youth, teens, young adults? In this case, I'm adding the adults as well, because people our age, man, they still, they still straddling the fence, between good and the bad or evil. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what's some words of encouragement from you, OG?
Like, from my experience of life, I'm not even that old. I'm 39 years old. I did all this within the time frame of 1995 to 2013 when I got out of prison. But you know what? I want y'all to always remember, my grandma always, even his daddy. I love that man to death. I
already know. Yeah.
Always told me, if you believe on the word of God and search it with your heart and put your trust in him, because in the Bible it states, look towards the hill in which cometh your help.
Come on, man.
See, when you look towards them hills and look, that's the way your help coming from. It ain't coming from your family. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Right.
No. They gonna be there for you, but they gonna be there. They ain't gonna be there. But when you look towards that hill, what comes your help? Look for the glory of God. Stand on His word. That word is never changed. I don't care what they put on Facebook. I don't care what these people standing on the street corners tell you need purple uniform. Get in that book and study for yourself. The word says study and show yourself approval.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I tell everybody that. I can tell you anything I want to tell you, but if you don't study for yourself and believe what you study, then you's gonna be the one that be out here wandering around trying to convince other people otherwise. I'm not here to convince you anything. I'm just putting it out there. Study your word of God and let Him lead your life. I promise you it'll be a better world for you.
I forgot, man. I just that fast, bro. I forgot that you a minister, man. I forgot about that. Yo, that's crazy. No, for real, that's mind blowing. Because from a street person to an OG as a gang leader at the time, now a minister. Man, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. And I know you want to do this organization. Believe it or not, you can put underneath your ministry license, man, or your ministry organization. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't stop feeding these kids positive information. You know what I'm saying? Because they need to hear stories like yours, man. I ain't never been in the federal penitentiary. I worked for DJJ. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I was a little scared then when them big old metal doors closed behind you. You know what I'm saying? And them YNs, they call them YNs now. But them YNs, but they'll book up at you. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody, they call all raised YNs now. So, but it's just crazy to me that we're losing them by the day. I was in a little city neighborhood around here like 2 weeks ago, and dude, he's 16 years old, man. So he's selling, you know what I'm saying, the whoop. And you know what I'm saying, that's an urban lingo for y'all, my viewers, whoop, fill in the blank. You know, he was serving or selling. And the other one had like a big old like clip on him. I said, man, what y'all doing out here? So I asked the little homies, 'cause I'm not the one that just keep looking and talk about them and ride off. I asked some questions. I said, why you do what you do? One of them told me, the 16-year-old said, because I'm depressed, I lost, my family member, right? I'm still dealing with that. So what I got to do, I took it upon myself. I said, we're going to do like a basketball tournament. Like, get up with them, play basketball with them, show them something different, something small, but to build a rapport with them. You know what I'm saying? Build a rapport up. But I want to say to you, bro, like, and I commend, fellas such as yourself, man, because you've been through so much. And you came out of that. You came out of the dirt, out the valley. And we go do spiritual, you came out the valley. You know what I'm saying? And so you have two options still, though. You still got two choices. Choice A, you try to bring the young person up behind you and teach them the right way. Or option B, say forget about them, let them continue to, smother into their own little, evil ways.
Right.
But you're not saying that. You say, yo, I'm ready to come out these, roll up my sleeves, as they say, and help, little Al out or little Alexandra out. No matter what race, creed, religion, or X, Y, and Z. If they need some guidance and coaching and mentorship, from an inner city area, poverty area, I'm here for you. And that's what's up. That, I give you those flowers, bro, because I need somebody I could partner with, and we do things like this together. What I do here now, the documentary of people like yourself that give out these stories, not for the for the public to see and all that stuff there, but the main goal is for the young people to see. So
and that's the thing. I'm glad you said that, because that's the thing. See, because now how TV and internet is, that's all they showing.
Yeah.
And people like me that done been through it and trying to do right, that reflects like we really don't have them type of guys that we had back then.
Right.
See, we had OGs told us, tried to deter us from the situation that they was in.
Right.
We had something to tell you, man, just go to school, but don't worry about this out here.
Right.
Do what you got, because I had some.
Right.
But you also have ones that push the issue. Mm-hmm. But when you pushing the issue, only thing you doing is destroying the community within.
Yes, sir.
We like I told him, I'm trying to build a community where I can draw my community together instead of spreading them apart. Because that's all this world is doing today. It's eating us from the inside. That's why that's why the government the way it is now within the black family household right now.
That's real.
They taking the black fathers out the household, and we allow it to happen because we not standing up for it. I understand child support. I was on it.
Right.
I did it. I understand. Yes, I understand. But at the same time, if you having fathers out here that's willing to be in their kids' life, why deter that? Only thing you're doing is feeding into the white folks system. And what we got to be out here fighting to see these kids fighting to do this here, but we only thing we're gonna resort to probably going back to jail because all we know is out here in these streets.
Wow. I call that, bro, POE, product of environment.
Exactly.
You go to the same environment you grew up in once you violate. Wow. And then it goes with exposure too. You have to be exposed to new areas, right? To new walks of life. And so that's something we got to work on. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like you mentioned that the NASCAR is a different exposure for the teenagers and kids that's in the poverty area. But like you said though, who will get them out there?
It's taking it out of my community.
Yeah.
When you do that.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
It didn't sit right with me. Yeah. But I'm still praying on getting together. I'm still trying to work on that. I'm gonna find an area where it can be accommodated.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. We're gonna work on that, man. And I appreciate you, man. Yo, today been a banger, yo. I can tell you, hey, family, today been a banger. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Cedric here, and heard from the good, the bad, the evil, because it is a difference between evil and bad. Now let's not get it.
It is.
Let's not get it twisted. Now, one boy being from the valley, now he on top of the hill. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to give back and pull back and reach back and pick up somebody else or pull up somebody else along the way as he continue on his journey, the journey he's on. So, bro, you have any taglines? How can I get in touch with you? You might not. I know you probably don't agree, but I respect that if not. But
I really don't have an Instagram page, but my Facebook page is my name. If you pull up Cedric Smith, you're gonna see a lady and a young man in a white suit. That's me. That's me.
Facts.
That's the only social media I have. I don't have nothing else but that.
Facts.
So I'm available any time of the day. You can get me on Facebook and text me or hit me up or whatever. If you want to talk, I'll talk. Like I say, sometimes it be therapy to me. Like I say, I deal with depression. Sometimes I need some of this. You feel me? So we can help each other along the way. But my main focus is getting these kids on the right focus, man, and stop filling up these white folks system, man, with my brothers and sisters, man. This is getting ridiculous.
At an early age too, they get young,
I'm talking about, man, listen, I came home by the time I came home in 2014, 2 years after that, it's like everybody under the age of 21 was gone.
Come on. Wow.
Like every day, 17, 16, 20.
Yeah, and they hit different for you because you was in that lane one point in time.
Yeah,
and resources you could have had. Yeah. And bro, I appreciate you, man. Love, man, as always.
Yeah, already.
And we'll do another sit down, but I want to get on that spiritual tip on that sit down and how to compare it with the world. You know what I'm saying?
Any day of the week, bro.
All right, bro. Yeah. Hey, chat.
Spread the word.
Family, thank y'all so much for everything. Thank y'all for tuning in, supporting the production. You know what I'm saying? The Gold Bar Status production. If you're running on there, if y'all know anybody, if you're gonna do a documentary, let us know. Reach out to us. Anybody, refer them. You know what I'm saying? Recommend them to me. We'll make it happen. Let the world see their story. Everybody change. You know what I'm saying? From the valley to the hill. You see my glory, but I don't think everybody know your story. Y'all be easy, chat. Be blessed.
Be blessed.